Amazing parenting. We empower parents to positively impact their children.
Hello parents, Grace here with Amazing Parenting. How are we today? How's your family? How's your children? How is your parenting journey? If it's not going as well as you want it to, stick around, because here at Amazing Parenting, we do tips, tools, and strategies and ideas to help build parent and child relationship to make it stronger. We have over 200 videos in Amazing Parenting Library, so avail yourself. It's free of charge with those videos to help you build stronger bonds with your children. So if you've not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe, click the notification bell and share these videos with at least one other parent. You might watch this and think, oh no, I've got this, I know how to do this, but you may know a parent who's struggling in this area. So please share this video with one other parent, and that's how we'll get this content around to all the parents who need this information. So please share with one other parent, and also give a like. If you like what you're seeing, like what you're hearing, give a like as well. So let's go straight into what we've been talking about. So last time we met, we were talking about healthy screen time. And so we're going to do part 2 of that. So we're talking about healthy screen time and why we must have healthy screen time with our children. So the next thing we want to talk about is why we teach our children the boundaries around healthy screen time. Why do they have to have healthy screen time? It's important that we explain to our children the downside of watching screens 24/7 or watching screens so much. I just want to touch on a couple of things. It can affect their sleep. So if they're on their phones watching films or whatever it is they're watching, it can affect their sleep pattern. It can make them, want to sleep longer so they're not waking up for school. It can give them nightmares. So many things can happen when they're constantly, watching their phones into the late evenings and nights. So it can affect their sleep. Too much screen time also affects their moods, your children's mood, that mood swings that they have. Sometimes they're really happy, sometimes they're really moody or upset, or, their moods are not even, they're not balanced. And also screen time, it affects how they focus. You want your child to sit and do their homework, but their mind is like, oh, I need to get back to my phone. I was doing something, I was playing something, So when there's actual times when they can be on their phones and you explain to your children why it's important that they have time away from their phone, it then helps them cooperate with you rather than, come up against you all the time. Oh, it's not fair. My friends have it. My friends do this. If you explain why it's important that your children come off the phones, then it's easy for them to cooperate with that. Okay, use screen times intentionally, not automatically. So what does that mean? You have to get our children thinking every time they pick up their phone, they need to ask themselves, what am I looking at my phone for? What's the reason why I'm looking at my phone? Is it to while away time? Is it to, take my mind off something? What am I looking at my phone for? And for our children who are a bit older, are they looking at their phone to find out ways, they can make money or, learn something? Get your children to ask themselves every time they pick up their phone, what are they picking up their phone for? What is the reason? Like I said in the previous video, if you don't know a purpose for something, abuse is inevitable. I'm sure many of us have heard that saying. So get your children to intentionally think about, pick up their phone, what for? Because sometimes it's so automatic. You even see children, their phones are in their hand. They're not doing anything, but the phone's in their hand. What are they picking up their phone for? So get your children to ask themselves that question every time they pick up their phone. So it's on purpose, not an automatic thing. Okay, next. Offer appealing alternatives. So you're saying you want your child to come off the phone. Let's just say, you're watching this video for the first time and your child has their phone 24/7. And you're thinking, what can I give them or do with them instead of them being on the phone for so long? And these are a few alternatives you can do. You can offer them to do different things like drawing, painting, and you get involved with them. Offer them family time, game time, times where they can just sit and talk with you as their mum, as their dad. So offer other things. Sport. Children love sport. Take them out. It's not necessarily all sport they like. Find out what sport they like and engage them in that sport. Yeah, it may mean that you have to get sporty in that particular field and engage them and be with them while they do that sport. But the other flip side of that is they're on their phones far too long. So give them an alternative on what they can do instead of being on their phone. They can, play an instrument, play music, dance, cook, make something, make cakes, make, biscuits. Do something else other than be on their phone. Give them alternatives because they may not think up the alternatives themselves. So give them those ideas. Avoid using screen time as emotional coping tool. So let's say you as parent, you as dad, you're stressed, maybe you're working from home and your children are home and you just give them the phone just to keep them quiet, just for them to cope, for you to cope, so they've got on the phone. Avoid those times. If you know you're going to be working from home and your children are going to be home, plan ahead. Plan ahead. Let your boss know it's half term. My children are going to be home, so I might not be online for the whole 9 till 5. I may have to break at that time and then make up the time when the children have gone to bed. So plan ahead. If you know your children are going to be home and you need to be, in a room by yourself, working from home, or as parents, we get tired. We get, we just need to break ourselves. So you give them the child the phone just to keep them quiet, just to, let them not bother you. We have to try to avoid these times, because what we are teaching our children is, when I need space, as your mum, as your dad, you can have a phone, you can have a tablet. And then they learn, oh, I'll just play with my tablet while mum rests. Well, those should be times when we're interacting. So it's important that we plan ahead. If you know that you need rest and sleep, which of course you do, what's your child going to be doing while you're doing that? So plan ahead when you're thinking about how you can use your child's phone, how your child can use their phone properly and intentionally when you're around and you need time for yourself. So think about those times, plan those times ahead, because it's important that our children are not going to their phones for emotional comfort, for emotional, to help them cope with situations, that they're not using their phone for that. Okay, so let's go on to our last area we're talking about, is focus on balance, not on perfection. So like I said before, it's not that we're taking the phones away from our children, unless you come to a realization that, my child is really too young to have a phone. They need to be doing something else. Okay, so if they're older and they have a phone, we're saying we're not taking the phone away completely, but we're just bringing balance into our homes regarding their phones. We're just bringing balance. We're not saying that's it, we're taking away the phone is evil, you can't have it anymore. No, what we're saying is we're bringing balance. We're bringing balance. And the more you do that, at the first they're gonna, come up against that. They're not gonna want to do it. They're gonna think you're being mean, or it's not fair. Their friends have their phones often as they want. But what you're doing, you're bringing balance into your home. And even though your children don't realize it and don't know it, they will benefit from that in the long run, and they will thank you for it when they are older. So remember, all parents can be great parents. It is a journey, and we will get there. Thank you for watching, and God bless.
Amazing parenting. We empower parents to positively impact their children.